whole time. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road, take care. Home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach, screaming bond the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't doing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real man talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That it came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that wop, I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Beers help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom, 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 and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Happy Thursday. Oh, let me cut this on. Happy Thursday to everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. All praise to the Most High for carrying us through another day, right? For bringing us back here to kick it with y'all. I hope that you'll find today's show edifying. The main topic for today is you won't stay out of the cave. And so now I do have a few other things to touch on before we get to our main topic. But first of all, I would like to point out that I am back with all 10 of my fingernails. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I've been pinkyless. Yeah, it was this pinky. I've been pinky nailless for a few weeks now because of a bad nail tech. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm not a hater. But yeah, a bad nail tech. But I have a great nail tech now. I go to LD Nails on Highway 5. If you're in Douglasville, you need to check them out. Hooked me right up, let my pinky nail heal, got me right back in the game. Shout out to Layla. Okay. So a few things to talk about before we get to our main topic. And I know one of the buzz topics of today has been like Cardi B's pregnant by her boyfriend. Cardi B's pregnant by her boyfriend. I mean, okay. See, I'm the kind of person that always wants to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? So when my common sense says, gee, that was kind of fast, and aren't you still married? And why would you go from being a wife to a baby mom? You know, I just have these questions. Based on some of the comments on social media, I guess I don't make enough money to question her in her decision making. And I just want to say that I'm so tired of y'all using these people's wealth as a reason to idolize them. I'm tired of us using celebrities and their fame, their status, their wealth, whatever, for a reason to not hold them to any kind of standard. And listen, I'm not saying that they asked to be a role model, right? I don't know if you guys remember in the 90s, there was this big controversy about, you know, I'm a celebrity, not a role model. I'm a rapper, not a role model, da 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 da. And you know, we just can't allow that to go on right now because my parents could control more what I saw, what I listened to. Like if my mom said she ain't want no explicit lyrics in her house, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a separate device where I could be consuming some kind of entertainment and my mother not be able to know about it. Like it was I had a big stereo, I had a CD player and a radio, but the speakers were huge. And even if I did put on headphones, there's nothing to stop my mom from coming in there and pulling the headphones out and hearing what I'm listening to, right? Excuse me. But what we have these days, our kids are carrying around devices even at school. Even when they're not around you, they have access to all the entertainment, all the music, everything that you don't want them to have access to, they now have access to at all times. Okay. And that being said, are we doing our kids a disservice by not holding these people who want to entertain our children to a higher standard? Okay. Because they say they're making, you know, Cardi B will say, well, my music's not for kids. You're making your music for these little teenage girls out here and immature minded grown women who will fall for the lights, the show, and the dazzle and feel like the way that you live is the way to live. And not to mention it's going along with her music. I mean, what is there a Cardi B song that she has released that would make you say, oh no, she wouldn't go and get pregnant by her boyfriend while she's still married to her husband? Okay, I didn't think so. So, I mean, our dollars are how we vote. Your dollars are how you vote. Your comments are how you vote. Your interaction on social media is how you vote. So complain all you want to about what she's doing, but the fact of the matter is, like, you're still voting for her. So I'm just saying. Thank you, honey. You're my man. Brianna, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you so much for joining me. And so how did I join my own stream? That's weird. Okay. So, yeah, okay. We can be done with that. I don't need to talk about that anymore. Okay. What I wanted to get into today, and it'll flow into something else, okay? Two things I want to kind of talk about right now. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Plato and the Republic, and a portion of the Republic called the Allegory of the Cave. Did we talk about this in high school? Definitely in college. Maybe not so much in high school. But in this story of the cave, you have a group of people who are confined to a cave, right? And you know, a cave is like in a mountain. It's basically a hollowed out rock in a mountain. And so you go in there, it's dark. There's no light in there. Okay. You're just sitting in darkness. So you've been sitting in darkness all of your life. Not only have you been sitting in the darkness, you've been chained in the darkness. Okay. You can't move your head to turn around and see outside the cave. You can't untie your hands to feel. You can't do anything. You are bound in this cave. Okay. One day, one of you somehow manages to escape. Maybe you picked a lock. Maybe someone came and gave you a chance to get out. One of you one day had a chance to escape, right? And so say you're the one that was chosen to escape, okay? You escape, and at first it's hard for you because you've been in the dark all this time, right? So you know how it is when you walk out the movies, like after you've been in a movie theater, you walk out, if you walk right outside, there's that dazzling like, oh, the sun is like, oh, burning my eyes, right? So you go through that, but you've been in this cave all your life, okay? And you are, however, you're old you are now, right? So sunlight is brand new to you. It takes you a while to adjust. Okay, cool. You start being able to conduct yourself in the light. Like you start figuring out things, okay? But here's another thing. When you were locked inside the cave, there's a fire outside the cave, and people will walk by the cave holding objects, right? But because you are inside the cave, you cannot see clearly. So someone may have been walking by and holding up a rock, right? But you call it something else because you've been locked inside this cave, so you are not familiar with this concept, okay? Someone could be holding up a wheel and you would mistake it for what you think the sun is, okay? Just you cannot see things clearly because you've been locked inside this cave, okay? So once you come out the cave, you start making your way in the light. Now you start learning things. Now you start proving things because now you're out. You have your senses. You can see, you can touch, you can hear. So now you've come out and learned that thing that you used to call a rock is really a cat. What you thought was the sun is really a wheel. What you thought was a horse is really, flowing water. Okay, you're learning what things really are. You decide that you have been called to go back into the cave and tell the other people in the cave all about what you've learned on the outside, right? You're going to go tell your family, you're going to go tell your friends, and of course they're going to be excited to hear this from you because they've all been locked in this cave. So this is going to be great news, okay? So you get down there, you go back into the cave, and you're carrying a flashlight because you know about light now. So you're not going to go back into the darkness unprepared. So you're carrying a flashlight, you go in there and you sit down and you talk to the people and like, hey, y'all, let me tell y'all, about what's going on the outside. And nobody wants to hear what you're saying. Nobody wants to hear what you're saying. Okay, I'm trying to I'm trying to tell the story and then get to my points, but the points are okay. So nobody wants to hear what you're saying inside the cave. And in fact, they start getting mad at you. They're like, cursing at you, calling you bad names, kicking dust at you, whatever way they are able to show their anger in their situation, right? So they're done with you. You leave the cave. And now it's up to you to decide, are you going to go back? Or are you going to keep on going? Okay. So there's a few things here that happen to us in real life, right? And the allegory of the cave is meant to be a whole, lesson, a whole breakdown or whatever. So we're going to use it here to talk about us in our own lives, right? So think of the time that you are in the cave as the mindset that you have held since birth, okay? Whatever that is. For me, I grew up in the church, right? So I grew up thinking about the world a certain way. I grew up thinking about the Bible a certain way. I understood God a certain way, right? This was the cave that I was in. So whatever mindset your parents introduced you to and you held on to, okay? That's your cave, right? And while you're in the cave, you don't have the ability to turn around and examine things for yourself because you are still young. Okay, you're still young. You haven't quite got the inkling to start asking questions yet. So if your parents tell you, if somebody hit you, hit them back, that's what you take. If somebody hit me, I'm gonna hit them back. If your parents tell you don't take food from strangers, I'm not taking food from strangers. My mommy and daddy told me not to, okay? Your parents are telling you what things are. If your parent tells you, hey, this person of this skin color is bad because, all people that look like that are like that, that's what you're gonna hold on to. If your mama is telling you that all black men is sorry and they ain't worth nothing, that's what you're going to hold on to. This is all you knew in the cave. There wasn't a daddy around to prove different to you. So all you were able to see in the cave is the perception. All you're able to see in the cave is the world through your mother's eyes. Okay? And that is because she's the one that's holding up the light. She's supposed to be the light. And she's supposed to be revealing these things to you. Like how they tell you this is the letter A, this is the letter B. But once you get past the what is the word I'm looking for? Once you get past concrete facts and you get into emotional things, right? Now's the chance for misunderstanding, okay? Okay. So you come of age one day, right? And I'm not talking about being 18. I believe at like 15, 16, I started questioning stuff, right? Okay. So you come of age one day, and you start asking questions, right? And as you start asking questions, some of those things that have had you bound are starting to loosen up on you. Your parents tell you, don't trust a certain type of person. But as you're out in the world and you're questioning things and you're beginning to interact with other people, you can see like, well, maybe my mom didn't exactly know what she was talking about with this, right? And I'm going to tell you what it was for me. Honestly, one of the things that helped change my mind was the Wild Wild West days of YouTube. Okay, I'm talking about like in the early 2010s, before all this censorship started, and when things were just, it's like information was just flooding, right? And that's another thing we have these days because of the internet, right? Your child, or you even, don't even necessarily have to physically leave your cave. You are now capable of having different information and information sources coming to you via the internet. Okay. And so you start questioning, you start looking around, you start examining things, you start comparing notes, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't know about some of this stuff. I remember when I started like getting to the truth of the Bible and understanding like, wait a minute, I think we are supposed to keep the commandments. Like, I don't think that this is, you know what I mean? Like, let's look at Deuteronomy 28 because what happened to these people? Like, this is a very specific, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just different things that start going off once you start getting different sources of information, okay? And I can remember for me in particular, my moment of going back into the cave and trying to share is when I came to my parents and I was like, listen, I have some questions about the Bible. Like, I've been reading and it says this. I've been reading and it says that, right? And no disrespect to my parents, okay? But coming into the cave and telling them that was just, it was like I was rejected instantly. No, what are you talking about? You can't say that. Some things you just have to accept by faith, and no, that's not true, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So do I stay in the cave or do I leave the cave and continue on my own journey? And that's that's one of the things about coming out of the cave. It's your own journey. It's not a journey that anyone can take with you. Even if you're married. You understand what I'm saying? My prayer life is my prayer life. I love my husband. We do everything. Like, honestly, we're together more than any other married couple that I know, maybe besides his parents because his dad just retired. You know what I'm saying? So we're together a lot. But even with all that, my prayer life is my prayer life. Like, that's my personal responsibility. My relationship with God is my relationship with God. That's my personal responsibility. That's nothing that no one else can help me with. And the Most High is not going to question me about that. He's going to question me about me. Okay. So do I stay in this cave and give in to what I've been taught growing up? Or do I leave this cave and continue on my journey of spiritual growth? Right. I'd like to present another situation with this cave here, right? Because sometimes it's not a mindset. Sometimes your cave is literally where you live. It's the people that you're hanging around. It's the environment that you continue to have yourself in. If you hang around a group of friends and your favorite pastime is going to the club on the weekend, getting drunk, going home with a stranger, and, waiting for next weekend and do it again, that is your cave. If you hang out with a bunch of girls and y'all thing is drugging dudes and robbing them and sleeping with them, that is your cave. If you have an issue with substance abuse, food abuse, laziness, whatever your issue is, whatever that thing that you know, even if you won't say it out loud, even if you feel like, oh, I won't admit this even to God, which he already knows, okay? But whatever that thing is that you're like, Lord, please take this from me. Please take this from me. Please take this from me. That is your cave, okay? That's your cave. Because you are listening to my voice right now, whether you're listening live or on the replay, you have an opportunity to leave your cave. You have an opportunity to come out of your cave. Angelina, Shalom, and Shalom, sis, thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here. Okay. You have an opportunity to leave your cave. You have an opportunity right now to take off those shackles, loosen the chains around your neck, the chains around your hands, walk out into the sunlight, and continue on your journey. What is holding you back? Is it because you don't want to do it by yourself? It's not very often that more than one person in a group of people is going to get an idea for radical change at the same time. Not only that, growth is hard. Growth is hard. You grow comfortable in your cave. You get comfortable with this cave in your life. It becomes, it's where you live. It's your routine. Monday through Thursday, you get up, you go to work, you go home, you get online, you do your thing. Friday comes, boom. You already know what's going to happen. You go to work, you're going to leave work, you're going to go home, take a shower. You and your girls going to hook up. Y'all going to go out, do your thing Friday night, Saturday. We going to get up, go have breakfast, take a nap, and go do it all over again. We going to be out in the street Sunday. This becomes your routine. It's your cave. Think of a baby in the womb. When that baby comes out, it's in shock. I've been in the dark all my life, and it was comfortable there. Now you bring me into this light. It's shocking, okay? So growth is hard, right? You're going to have to know how to go it alone. And it is hard, right? Because people will tell you, oh, you're alone, but you're not lonely. Stop telling people that, because that's not true. You can't tell somebody that they're not lonely. I remember feeling lonely. Now, you shouldn't wallow in it. I'm not saying, bask in your loneliness. But what I'm saying is, what is it? It's an opportunity cost. It's an opportunity cost. What is the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is an economic term, but it refers to what you give up to make a choice. Okay. So when you choose to leave the cave, yes, you're giving up that set of friends. You're giving up that way of life. And one of the costs of that can be loneliness. Okay. But I want to implore you. Hold on, let me read this comment. These old ways and habits sometimes can have a hold on you. Not to say it's hard to let go of, but embracing a new way of life isn't always easy, and it will be a lonely road. Exactly. It is a very lonely road. But I do want to encourage you that instead of looking at it as loneliness, you should be looking at this as a chance for growth and isolation and a chance to strengthen yourself. Okay. When I was looking at this, the allegory of the cave, I actually was listening to a lecture on YouTube, which was, and that's when it clicked me like, oh, this is good. I can talk about this, right? So then I went back and looked at the Bible about the times that David was in his cave when he was running from King Saul, right? And gosh, where was I? I don't remember where I was. Okay, but in one of the caves that he was in, he actually had 400 men join him, right? You can't. And so when I'm talking about David in his cave, I'm not speaking in forms of sin. Remember, he's running from King Saul. Okay. So this is not him in sin. I'm just talking about him in the sense of being in isolation, being alone. Okay. God is not going to yell, scream, and holler and talk above other voices to get your attention. And so sometimes it is necessary for those voices that have been interfering with his voice in your life to be separated from you. Okay. Yeah, it's hard, man. Yeah, it's hard. This your homegirl. Y'all been hanging tough. Let's go a little bit deeper. This your boo. Y'all been hanging tough. Y'all been cracking. Y'all be together every weekend. Like, this your homie right here. And now y'all starting to grow apart. Little things that didn't used to bother you anymore starting to bother you, and you can't figure out why. All of a sudden you start feeling guilty every time you hang out with him, and you can't figure out why. You can't figure out why everything your homegirl starting to do is getting on your nerves. Like, the things that y'all used to do for fun are not fun to you anymore. Tripekia, I hope I said your name right. Shalom, shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. The things that y'all used to do are not fun anymore. Like, you be at the function, but you be at the function playing on your phone, ready to go. It's not, the thrill is gone. Okay, the thrill is gone. It's not fun no more. And here's what's crazy. In your moments of distress, you pray to God to get to this point. In your moment of repentance, you pray to God, please take the desire to do this thing away from me. Please take my desire for this person away from me. Please take this thing from me. And when he starts to take it from you, a lot of you begin to back it up and go back into your place of bondage. When he starts to take it from you, instead of you letting the divide occur, you pull the person in, or you push yourself into this person even more, or you push yourself into this activity even more. You act like a teenager who's being told that they can't date the guy that they like. You know how teenagers are. As soon as you tell them, no, I don't like that one, that's the one they want the most. And that's how we act after we pray to God. So please remove this thing from my life. Once he starts removing it, we'll make the mistake of going after it even more. This is why prayer is important. This is why time alone is important. Because then you have time to slow down and think about the things that you are doing. Think about the direction that your behavior is taking you. Remember the things that you said when you were crying out to God for salvation from the very situation that you seem to have a problem leaving alone right now. Please, God, get this monkey off my back. I don't want to drink like this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to eat like this. I don't want to be out in the club. I want peace in my life. I want to be happy at home. So then when all the drama starts leaving, and let's not act like you can't get addicted to drama, because you can. You can. You ever seen somebody that they seem like it's always something going on with them? Like always, like no matter what, it's always some drama. There are people who are addicted to drama. There are people who feel like if there's not drama going on in their relationship, then it's not a real relationship. It's boring. They can't do it no more. Are you addicted to drama? You need to examine that. My mom is the first one to be like, is it you or is it them? Is it you or is it everybody else? Because how come every relationship you get in has these same particular elements? And you're the common denominator or factor. You're the common factor in every situation. If every time I get in a car, I run a stop sign, it's not the stop signs, it's me. It's not the car, it's me. I've been in 50 million different cars. It's me. So if every time you get in a relationship, it seems to end on some type of drama, some type of beef, it's you. The Most High, you know, listen, it's hard because I'm trying to explain the fact that you have to give up the thing, right? Like how Yahushua laid down his life. Christ laid down his life. He said that. He's like, nah, they ain't taking it. I'm sacrificing it consciously for this cause, okay? It's like, he's not gonna make you take it. You have to lay the thing down. And what we'll do is, while we're refusing to lay the thing down, now we're going crazy in other areas of our life because we don't have peace in our mind. And when you don't have peace in your mind, you're not making good decisions on any plane, any front. Have you ever been through a time in your life where things were just crazy, and then when you came out of it, you looked around and you was like, "Oh my gosh, what have I been doing this whole time? What was I thinking? Like, how could I?" When you finally get out the cloud and you look at him and you're like, "What the hell was I? Was I that desperate? Were things that bad?" When you finally get over your loneliness and you can look at old girl and be like, I used to hang out with her. The sin that you continue to hold on to is not going to allow you the clearness of your mind to live your life to the best potential, because this sin is anchoring you down. You want to hold on to this thing. And so in my Bible study chat, shout out to my Bible study chat. In my Bible study chat a few weeks ago, we were talking about Bathsheba. So that was like last week, I think. Yeah, last week we were talking about Bathsheba. And a question came up about whether what David did was a mistake or was it willful sin. And so we started discussing our views on that. And we came to one definite conclusion, that your mistake is a mistake to you because you struggle in this area. But someone who's not struggling in this area will look at your mistake and call it a willful sin. Okay? What do I mean? Somebody that's trying to quit smoking and slips up and smokes, they're like, listen, I was just going through it. I had the monkey on my back. I just had to, you know what I'm saying, just calm my nerves for a second. And someone else who has overcome the struggle of smoking will totally understand that. Like, yeah, girl, them cigarettes used to have a hold on me too, child. And, so I understand what you're going through. Okay? My mom has a problem with her sugar. She do. She be trying to get it under control, but that lady, she be eating fruit and everything else, right? And in my younger days, I would just look at her and be like, Ma, just put the sugar down. Like, that's crazy. This don't make no sense. Just put it down, right? But as I have gotten older and my hormones have started to have their way in my body, I get it now. Once that sugar demon jump on you, it is hard to get off. I get it now because I'm going through it now. So now I'm not in a position to judge and call it a willful sin. Now I can understand why you feel like this is a mistake. Okay? Regardless of whether you call it a mistake or a willful sin, the fact of the matter is you're still wrong. You understand what I'm saying? It is still wrong. Stop trying to justify your sins by using your weaknesses. Well, Lord, you know I'm ovulating right now. You know you're ovulating right now. Put the phone down. You know you're ovulating. Don't go on that date. Lord, you know my bills is low. Stay away from sugar daddy when your bills is low. You got a problem stealing? Stay out the store when you feel the klepto bug jumping on you. Like the Bible tells us to resist the devil and he will flee. So obviously, if the Bible is telling you to resist, there is an opportunity there for you to resist. And now here's what's crazy, right? We don't understand the build up to an event, right? Because you'll say, well, I didn't have an opportunity to resist because we was in the car and, they ran in and robbed the place. Here's the thing. Most 9 times out of 10, you knew them boys was going to rob the place when you got in the car, and or you knew these boys had a reputation for robbing places, and your parents had told you, leave them boys alone, leave them boys alone, leave them boys alone. That was your opportunity to resist the temptation then, okay? But you didn't. And now you sitting up in jail with them boys. Ladies, listen, this what we talked about this last week with the discernment. That's what your discernment is for. That's why you get that creepy feeling, your stomach hurt every time you talk to him. Anytime he texts you, you get this disgusted feeling. And here, I'm not saying that you're not attracted to him. Hear me, right? I'm not saying you're not attracted to him. Yes, you're attracted to him. He fine as wine. Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, if I was still in the world, yeah. Okay, you feel this way as well as you still feel a little in your spirit whenever he called, text, you know what I'm saying? Whenever he's mentioned, like whenever you think about him, something just don't feel right. That is your opportunity to resist the temptation, but you don't. And so guess what? By the time y'all in the car running to hit the lick, it's too late. Because you did not resist him when you had the chance. You did not flee. You did not give him the opportunity to flee when he had the chance. What do you mean give him the opportunity to flee? What I said. If God told you resist the devil and he will flee, then obviously he has the ability to flee. You can send him on about his business, but you don't because you keep engaging him. Yeah, just like Buddy that's gonna text you tonight about 12, talk about you up. Why you keep disrespecting me like that? Because you keep answering the you up text. Why he only got time for me on Wednesdays and Thursdays? Because clearly them the days is he is free and you are answering it on them days. Like you set yourself up for this situation. There's so many signs, miracles, and wonders. You have the opportunity to resist the temptation, but you don't. I don't know, like, why would you even get in a car? Exactly. I don't know what kind of idea we have as far as temptation and how things are supposed to work. It's if it's not supposed to happen. It is supposed to happen. That is why part of the Lord's prayers lead us not into temptation. It's supposed to happen. Do you feel like the cave is just supposed to let you go when you've been there all of its life? The Bible tells us that when an evil spirit leaves a place, it comes back later. And if nothing is there, it will, no, if you, okay, I'm trying to break it down to, all right, say you have a problem with, all right, say you're addicted to Pepsi, right? You are addicted to Pepsi, you love Pepsi. In fact, I knew a person, sidebar. When I was in surgical tech school, one of our professors had told us about this patient he had, and she was addicted to Coke. She was addicted to Coke so bad that that's all she would drink all day. She would just crack open 12-ounce bottles of Coke all day to the point where her kidneys were damaged, her liver was damaged. She's in the hospital dying, and they're telling her, leave the Coke alone, leave the Coke alone. She's in the hospital dying, begging for someone to bring her a Coke. Okay? So it's possible to get addicted to sugary drinks, stuff like that. But shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. All right, so you got a Pepsi problem, right? You got a Pepsi problem bad. All right, all throughout the day, you just drink a Pepsi. Matter of fact, that's all you drink. You don't even drink water. You drink Pepsi. All right, and then one day you like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like, no, this Pepsi is not going to have me down. I'm not going to get the diabetes. I'm tired of this. I'm done. Right, and so you stop with the Pepsi. You stop with the Pepsi. Now you're drinking water. You're enjoying your teas. Everything's lovely. You're into sparkling water. Things are good. And then one day you out with your friends, right? Y'all out at the burger joint, whatever. And you're like, dang, I want a Pepsi real bad. Oh, I want a Pepsi so bad. Oh, let me just have this Pepsi. So you give in and you get yourself a Pepsi. And then by the time you get home, that monkey going your back again. And here you go again, spending money, getting Pepsi, right? But the way the Bible explains it is when you go back for that Pepsi addiction, now it's Pepsi and donuts. It's Pepsi and donuts and chips because it's 7 times, right? Pepsi, donuts, chips, burger, everything you're not supposed to have. all because you went back to the thing after you were set free from it. This is the danger with going back and playing with sin, right? You don't. It's like it's like that dude that you trying to friend zone, right? And he's friend zoned, but every now and then you want to go out and you want him to pay, so you call him up and you got to talk sweet to him for a while, and then y'all go out, and now he's expecting more. Like, oh, I took you out, we had a good time, blah 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 blah. So now he's calling you every day, calling you every day, calling you every day, and now you got to be extra mean to get him back in the friend zone. I don't know why y'all think sin and death is a game out here, especially in 2025. Especially in 2025. Whatever you choose to call the evil forces in this world are not playing about your soul. They take your soul more seriously than you do, obviously, or you wouldn't keep falling back into sin. What am I supposed to be, perfect? You're supposed to be keeping the law to the best of your ability. We're all without sin. We all fall short. Absolutely. But the problem is, you won't even begin to take the steps to come out of your struggles because you're so comfortable with your sin. You're so comfortable being bound up. You've gotten so used to the yoke around your neck that when you don't have it on, now you feel naked and out of place. It's like a reformed stripper who starts wearing clothes all of a sudden. It don't feel right. It's too much. I'm out of place. I'm uncomfortable. The things that you are shown by others who may not know better are not your fault, right? But when you hold on to those things to continue your willful sin, now it very much is your fault. Growing up, I was eating pork for as long as I can remember. Ham. I was never a fan of chitlins. I'm sorry, like that never sat right with me. Okay, but I would eat my pork. I would go to Red Lobster, eat my shrimp, lobster. Like I was on that for a while. For most of my life, I was on it, right? But that's not my fault. I wasn't taught any better. I wasn't taught better. You can't be held accountable for any information that you don't know. Sidebar, which is why I kind of don't like always learning stuff, because like now I'm accountable for this. Ugh. Okay, but so you're not accountable for anything you don't know. So you've been told all your life, yeah, eat this shrimp and give thanks to God that you had the ability to eat the shrimp. You're going to eat the shrimp and you're going to give thanks for eating the shrimp. Okay, not your fault. But if you come into this truth and you pick up this plow and you walk around, because we don't make changes silently. We don't, especially not something like that, right? Not something like, oh, we're not eating pork, we're not eating shrimp no more. We can't wait to get around somebody that's eating pork so we can talk about how filthy that is, how nasty that is, how that's going to kill you slowly. Can't wait to tell them. So you didn't just quit quietly. You went and condemned everybody else. And then one day, for some reason, the Admiral's Feast or that Juicy Crab, whatever they be doing, started calling your name. And you went in there and decided to partake again. You've come back to this again. Now it is your fault. Now it is, and you don't have anybody else to blame. God is not a postmodern psychiatric tool. He is not and see here, okay. Because this is something that bothers me, all right? Sidebar. I don't like the way we allow people to use their traumatic experience as an excuse for their behavior. I'm not talking about sociopaths, psychopaths. No. I'm talking about y'all little regular schmegular people who, instead of learning how to play your role in whatever relationship you are in, you will continue to be a destructive force in the lives of the people around you because you refuse to cooperate. Notice I said whatever relationship you're in, because it is not just important to play your role in a marriage, it's important to play your role in whatever family you're in. Single moms, it's important to play your role. When you go to work, you have a role at work. You understand it's important to play your role at work. In your child's life, you play a role. With your friends, you play a role. If you're lucky enough to have any. But so instead of you saying, okay, something's wrong with me, I need to do this with me, you'll sit there and blame your mama, your grandmama, your uncle, your daddy, your brother. You'll blame everybody else for why you refuse to compromise with the people around you. What was I listening to? I was listening to somebody and they were talking about how like they kind of punish their new relationships because of what happened to them in one relationship. Okay. I don't like that. And unfortunately, we as women in the year of no accountability, in the decade of no accountability for women, instead of us calling each other out on that mess, we'll support that. Like, yeah, girl, that's right, girl. Ain't none of them no good. No, you don't have to change. It's them. They should be changing for you. If they don't want to get with your program, then okay. So I hate when we do that. Okay, so back to our story. Where was I? Let me reset. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Okay. When you first came out the cave, you were a babe. Think of yourself as a babe in Christ. Okay? You know how it was? You was just happy to know God. You was just happy to have a relationship with the Lord. You were just happy about the good news of the gospel and you just wanted to share. It's like when in Revelation, when John first took the scroll and it was sweet in his mouth. Yeah. And you just want to tell everybody because it's good to you, right? Praise the Lord. Praise be. Jesus loves me. Jesus saves. But, you know, after you get off whenever I'm on a journey, I like to, whenever I'm on a journey and I pray about it, I picture myself on a cliff, like the cliff of a mountain. And have you ever seen those long bridges they have in places like China where it'd be like two mountains and then just this rope bridge with steps that you got to walk all the way across, right? When I'm going through something and I pray about it, that's how I picture it. There's nothing to the right of me. There's nothing to the left of me. There's barely a handle for me to hold on. You know how those rope bridges are always twisting and turning back and forth in the movies and stuff. It's like that, right? No place else to turn. I'm either going to go straight and keep walking forward or I'm going to stay in here and die. That's what I picture, okay? And so when you first come out of that cave, it's like you're still on that cliff. You're still on that cliff. When you're on the cliff, you have the option to go back. You have the option to go back in the cave. But you know, if you go back in there, you're going to die. One thing the enemy used to always play with my mind about was having to die to my flesh, right? Because at the time when I was going through this, it was scary to me because I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Why do I have to die? I wasn't understanding the concept of dying to my flesh so that my spirit can become stronger. Okay. But so it's the same thing if you stay in your sin, if you go back to that thing that you've been praying to escape from, if you go back in there, you're going to die. And I don't necessarily mean physically die. And here's what we don't understand. There are conditions that are worse to live in than death. Okay. Like I'm looking for the words to say because I need y'all to understand something, right? Because unfortunately, when we are looking for excuses, we will make things very gray. When we are sure about a thing, it is very black and white. God said, don't do that. That's it. Very black and white. No, we're not doing that. But when we are unsure, when we are afraid, when we're not ready to grow, all of a sudden now we have these little gray areas. Like, well, God said not to have sex outside of marriage, but if I pray about it afterwards, if I ask him to forgive me, if this, if that, all of a sudden now we have all these conditions to excuse what we want to do. The years of your life are going to go by. It's up to you the condition that you are in as they go by. So you're standing on this cliff. You can go back in the cave, but if you go back in that cave, you will surely die. You will not flourish anymore. Your health is going to deteriorate. Your mind is going to deteriorate. Your lifestyle is going to deteriorate. Your finances are going to dry up. If you keep hurting me over and over again, okay, I hate olives. Hate olives. Like I can't explain to you. I don't think I hate a food as much. I don't think I hate anything as much as I hate olives. Can't stand olives, right? If you keep bringing me a pizza with olives, I'm gonna stop messing with you. Like, I don't want to eat with you. I don't want to kick it with you because you know I don't like this thing. But you keep doing this thing, and then you keep coming back in my face like you don't know that you're offending me. And let's keep it funky. Like, y'all got y'all pet peeves out there, okay? Some of y'all have a pet peeve about people clearing their sinuses in front of you. You know, like doing that, doing that noise. Like, some people can't take it. Oh, here's a better example. I don't want to be exposing my mama, but my mom does this thing where she mimics people's accents, like especially a New York Spanish accent, because that's where she's from, right? So whenever she get in her little mood, she get all Rosie Perez on us, and it gets on everybody's nerves. Me, the kids, my husband, we all be like, "Oh my God!" Like, don't nobody want to hear that right now. But my mom's best friend will absolutely walk out the room if she don't stop it, because you be like, "Look, Norma, that's enough. That's enough." You know what I'm saying? So once somebody shows you that they don't care if they keep on offending you, you're going to walk away. Like, I don't have to deal with this. I'm going to walk away. Right. So why do you feel like you can keep sitting and going back to God like you're not purposely offending him? Purposely. Because it's not a mistake. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. Heir to it is not a mistake. So why do you feel like if I'm offering you a gift, you're hungry, and I'm offering you food for your hunger, but you keep smacking my gift away, you keep smacking my food away, why do I have to keep offering you food? What kind of sucker do you take me for that I'm going to keep offering you food? Y'all feel like that just because Yahushua said, what did he say? oh my gosh, something about him knocking at the door. Something about him knocking at the door of your heart. I don't remember the exact verse or the exact words, right? It didn't say that he was going to knock forever. It didn't say that he was going to just keep on pleading with you and pleading with you and pleading with you. And here's a question that I have for you. If you say you love God so much, why do you continue to purposely offend him? You continue to purposely offend him, and then you want to turn around and go to him and plead for his grace and his mercy. Y'all are double-minded. And I'm not saying that it's easy. And please hear me. I'm not here to condemn. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to talk to you about some stuff that I had to go through and that I had to get through my thick skull as well. And it's not like I don't still have some things that I'm dealing with. But what I'm not going to do is be standing on a cliff in front of a whole new opportunity to change my life for the better, to elevate to the next level. And decide, oh no, I'm just gonna turn back around and stay here, no problem. We're not gonna do that. You don't have to have it perfect to take the trip. You don't have to have everything perfect to take them steps. That's why it's called walking out on faith, because it's not perfect. You don't have the answers. You might not even be quite sure where you're going. But I'm going to take that first step and I'm going to give it my best effort. Will you mess up sometimes? Absolutely. But I think part of taking your power back from the sin that is holding you down is acknowledging that it is in fact a sin. You can't be at the AA meeting if you refuse to acknowledge the fact that that stuff that you keep pouring is not apple juice. You won't be there because you don't think you did anything wrong. If you're not willing to admit that the thing that you're stuck doing is wrong, there's no hope for you then. The first step to getting help is admitting you have a problem, because if you can't admit that you have a problem, you don't see a need to ask for help. The Most High will send people on your journey to encourage you. Don't confuse these people for friends. Sometimes when we get on these journeys and we walk alone, we'll meet another person who, we feel like is on a similar journey in their own life. Like, oh, you're a Bible believer as well? Me too. And so you start to think that you can befriend this person. But if the Most High has you on a journey that you have to go on alone, you trying to befriend this person is going to hurt more than it will help. It will leave a bad taste in your mouth and now kind of like give you another brick in your wall that you're building around your heart. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone that you meet is not meant to stay around. Sometimes they're meant to just leave you an encouraging word, drop a couple dollars in your pocket, put a song in your heart, whatever. You're not meant to necessarily stick around, and you have to be okay with that. A lot of y'all try to hold on to old people and old places and old things, and it's just going to hurt you. I remember when we went to New Jersey for my best friend's wedding back in May, like everything looked so different. And honestly, like it didn't even feel the same being there. It was crazy. It was like, I'm so past this. Like I can't believe, that I used to feel like running these streets was so fun. I'm so over this. Please hurry up and get me back to Atlanta. But if you're never willing to let things, I've never seen The Most High has never asked me to let go of something and not replace it with something better. That's never been the case. That's never been the case. When it was time for me to leave Jersey, I don't know if I've told y'all that story, but when it was time for me to leave Jersey, I came back with no job. I had a car note. I had bills. You know what I'm saying? I was living a full life up there. I walked away from my apartment, sold the furniture that I could sell, gave away some stuff. I had an Acura MDX. I put my TV, my little flat screen, is smart TV. Matter of fact, it's the TV. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. It's one of the other ones. I put that TV in my trunk, put my clothes in my car, and drove my little behind right back down here to Atlanta. No job, no nothing. No interviews set up, no nothing. I came down here and I had a job in less than a month. I didn't miss a car note. I didn't miss an insurance payment. I didn't miss anything. Met my husband, ran into him again. We already knew each other. Ran into him again. I can fit the apartment I used to live in one half of one floor of my house that I live in now. My whole apartment, okay? One half of one floor of my current home. Listen, I hate when they used to tell us, like, oh, be careful what you pray for because you're gonna have to go through tests and trials to get it, and God's gonna try you. And it always just gave me this sense of it as if God was like some kind of evil miser that resented giving you any good things. So in order to get the good things, he was gonna make you go through this whole crucible. And I just hate that because that's not the God that we serve. He's not sitting there scowling. He wants to give good things for you. The Bible talks about how a natural father does good to his children. How much more? If he's asking you to let something go, it's not some kind of cruel joke. If he's asking you to let someone go, it's not some kind of cruel joke. It's not him trying to remove all the people of your life so you can be alone forever. It's not that. Stop letting the fear of ending up alone keep you in a cave. That's not what the Most High is trying to do here. He's trying to get you to separate yourself from something so that you can grow. Do you understand that I don't have any of my old friends. I have my one best friend from college. I don't have any of my old friends. I don't. And I'm okay with that. You have to learn to be okay with it. Is it going to be easy? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not going to be easy. Yes, you're going to cry. You're going to cry. Why do you feel like you should be the only person in life who doesn't have to go through anything? For crying out loud, you read a Bible full of stories of people who've been through a lot of stuff. Why do you feel like your story is just supposed to be, yeah, today I'm born, I go to school, I grow up, I get married, I have kids, yeah, today. Why do you feel like that gets to be your testimony? Remember Lot's wife. Oh. Like, we're just living in a day and time where you're going to have to start walking a fine line. You're going to have to. It's getting to the point now where we are living in a time where just about anything goes. I cannot get on Facebook without seeing a snuff film. And I don't like snuff film. I don't want to see that. But I can't get on Facebook without seeing someone be snuffed out. There are people right now. And it's been going on for a long time. But every day they inch closer and closer and closer to lowering the age of consent so that they can have access to our children. We were talking yesterday about Esther. We were talking about Esther. My Bible study group chat. And we were talking about how she basically had to go before the king with everything she had to endure, everything that she dealt with, go before the king to basically save an entire race of people, right? Hold on, where was I going? Okay. Yeah, she had to go to save an entire race of people. And so one of the questions in our study guide was, how does that inspire you to stand up for your people? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I used to be Black before anything else. Like, I didn't care what else you had going on in your life. If you Black, I got you. Like, period. You could be alphabet mafia. You could be an atheist. You could be a Buddhist. You could be living whatever lifestyle. If you Black, I'm gonna have your back. Until I went through a few experiences and realized that other Black people do not feel the same way. Like, other Black people will definitely choose their sexuality over their race. They'll support an LGBT issue before they support a Black issue. They'll support an issue that impedes on my freedom of religion because I believe in Jesus and they don't like it before a Black issue. They will choose what's good for them as an individual before they choose what's good for us as a group. And it makes it hard for us to move forward as a people because you don't know who you can trust. And so just as I have learned that lesson when it comes to like social activism and just generally how I treat other Black people, I need you to take this individual lesson into your own life. Even when it comes to some of y'all's family. And I know you're probably not going to like me saying this, but some of y'all's going to have to like distance yourself from some family members. I am not saying to neglect your family. Pause. Hold on. Because my husband was just telling me not too long ago how he got a phone call about there's an incident. Oh, there was a funeral, and the person that had passed was an Israelite. And my husband got a call because they're like, well, we don't know how to act around them. They don't really talk to us. Like, just all these weird things that they were doing under the guise of being Israelites. Right? And so I just wanted to like clear that up. Where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was going with that. I don't remember what I was trying to say. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'm losing my train of thought, y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know where I was saying. Individually, right? Okay, so they call my husband. They're like, listen, we don't know how to act, blah, 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 blah. So when I'm telling you that you may have to distance yourself from some family members, I'm not telling you to go in there and be like, the Most High said, I can't deal with y'all no more. Don't ever call me again. I am not telling you to go no contact with your family members. But what I am telling you is that if you know you and that one cousin like to get together and get down and do all the things that you're not supposed to do, then maybe you need to stop hanging out with cuzzo. And the excuse can't be, oh, that's my family. That is what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to cut off your family, please. I feel like family is one of the most precious things. And if you're blessed to have one that like wants to be bothered with you, then relish in that. Doesn't mean you have to commit their sins with them. Okay? My family likes to get together and party. There's going to be alcohol around. If you feel like, this is just not a good day for me, I'm feeling a little temptation. I'm not saying it's wrong to drink, but sometimes, maybe you have trouble maybe you have trouble controlling your drink, then okay, maybe I'm gonna catch y'all at the next function. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Now, they wouldn't even tell them where the funeral was or when. They wouldn't tell them any info about their dead brother. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not telling y'all to do that. That is not what I'm saying at all. Like I said, if you know you and your one cousin, you and your auntie, whatever, y'all like to do the things that y'all shouldn't be doing, don't use them being your family as an excuse to keep hanging around them when you know that hanging around them leads you into sin. That is what I'm saying. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. I can't imagine what the captions are saying because I know I don't what's the word I'm trying to say? I know I don't enunciate my words properly all the time, so I'm sure they are hilarious. Yeah, it is. It is, and this isn't the first time that we've heard about this. We hear stuff like this all the time from people calling and like, well, I don't know what happened. They said they was an Israelite, and now they don't come around. They don't talk to us. They don't deal with us. And I get it, y'all. It's hard, right? Especially like you can't celebrate the holidays with them. So it's hard to get everybody together because they usually gather for the holidays. And it's up to you. That's why we have Sunday dinner at my house every Sunday. That is why. Because me, my husband, my sons, we don't do Christmas, Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? We don't do those things. But those are the times when families traditionally get together. Okay, let's start another tradition. Let's do it on this day. So now every Sunday, I'm with my family. So now Christmas ain't a big deal. All right, I'll see y'all on Sunday. Thanksgiving is not a big deal. I just saw y'all Sunday. You can be in the truth and be a light to your family. Okay, but what you can't do is you can't be a light to them if you're never around them. You can't be a light to them if you're constantly repelling them. There is a way to keep the law and to stand up for your righteousness without being offensive to others. There's no reason for you to talk nasty to people when you're talking about God. None at all. And you should be repulsed that you do. I used to hate that whole, I'm a Christian, but I still beat your. I hate that. I hate that freaking attitude. Because if you want to be Street Fighter, then go and be Street Fighter. But you can't come and preach Christ to me and then tell me 2 seconds later that you'll knock my. I don't want to hear that from you. That's a turnoff to me. I'm from the south side of heaven. Shut the hell up. No, you're not. Like that stuff like that just irritates me because the law of kindness is kicking people's butts. One of the fruits of the spirit. I never saw that anywhere. Joy, peace, long suffering, them hands. There's not on the list of the fruits of the spirit. So why is that your approach? And our family accommodates us. Like if we do come over for something, they cook the chicken and the beef or, they'll cook all the non-pork products on the grill first and then save the pork for last. That's what they want. Cool. But the weird thing that I have found is by the time they cook the pork, everybody else done ate the beef and the chicken. So we be like, wait a minute, that was for us. You pig eaters. Eat your pig. And so now at the end of the function, it's just a bunch of pork laying around because everybody else done ate the beef and the chicken. So we asked them, like, why do y'all even still buy this stuff? Like, you don't eat it. What are you doing? Okay? But if you come in with kindness and give people a chance, listen, if they choose to reject you, that's on them. They don't want to accommodate you. All right, cool. Me and my kids going to eat before we come. That's cool. You don't have to. Because I can't come to your house and tell you what to do. All right. Paul did say, I become all things to all people for the cause of Christ. And y'all will use that to do little hood rat stuff with your friends, but you won't use that to still be a light to your family. All right. Well, we're going to eat before we come over there. Uncle so-and-so usually show up about 9, 10 o'clock and things start getting out of hand. All right. Well, we'll be there about 3 or 4. get the kids enough time to play with the cousins. You get to interact and have some good, clean fun. And right at 8:45, before Uncle so-and-so come, all right, y'all, it's time to go. There are ways to be kind if that is the intent of your heart, but it is not your intent. You will still find ways to be nasty and rude and to drive people away. What's the point of coming into the truth and then turning people off from the Bible? What did you learn the truth of the Bible for? Why do that, right? Why do that? Why come into the revelation, come into the light, come to the truth, whatever you want to call it, and then turn around and condemn people who were in the same exact situation you were in just yesterday? Just yesterday. It's unproductive and it makes no sense. Pass it to Atticus, ladies and gentlemen. My water. It's not the first thing you have to do. So y'all, please repent. Walk away from your sins. I don't even want to say turn because y'all been done turned right back into the cave. No, walk away. Walk forward. Don't worry about what's on the right of you. Don't worry about what's on the left of you. You keep going forward, okay? And then when you get to the end of your journey, when you look back, you will see all those things below you. All those things you used to worry about, they will be beneath you. Some of the things that used to disturb me are so far out of my life that I can't. People have to bring it up to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I did. I used to do that for real. I don't remember. There is another side. The things that God is asking you to give away, it's not a cruel joke. It's not a joke. It's not a prank. It's to give you something better. If your cereal bowl is full of Cheerios and I got a box of Fruit Loops right here and I'm going to give you some Fruit Loops, I can't if you still holding on to the Cheerios. You understand what I'm saying? I promise you these Fruit Loops, which is a substitute for whatever God has for you that he can't give to you because you won't let go of what you're holding on to right now. I promise you those Fruit Loops are infinitely better than what you're holding on to. All right? What y'all got to say to the people? Say hey to Auntie Angelina. She called y'all
Hi, Auntie Angelina.
They are so handsome. I got to do their hair though. Paxton, what? You came down here to put on lotion? Are you going to talk to the people? You going to say hi? Here.
I love lotion.
Talking to the mic.
Actually,
You love lotion. She needs some man. What'd you say? You need a haircut?
I actually do want another haircut.
Another haircut? You really gonna get rid of your mohawk, Atticus?
Hi. I might have to grow my hair back.
You gonna grow your hair back?
No, I have to grow it back to get the haircut.
Oh.
What
okay.
haircut do you want?
So do you want to keep the mohawk or no? No?
What haircut do you want?
I'm sad that Atticus is letting go of his mohawk, but he said he don't want it no more. So, and he's like, I have a baby picture of him, and this was like his natural hairdo as a baby. Like he just had this hair right here. I have to I'll load it on next week and put it on the screen so that people can see it because they can't see it. They wouldn't be able to see it this week. I only have it on my phone. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope something that I said was helpful to you, whether you were listening live or on the replay. If you would like to support the ministry efforts that we have going on here, gosh, I didn't go through none of my intros or nothing. I don't know what I was thinking about. If you would like to support the ministry efforts that we have here, please head over to the Cash App, $ The House of Mono. Please follow the YouTube at Monologue McGad, MONOLOG MAGAD. Like, share, leave a comment. If you're listening live, type live. If you're listening on the replay, type replay. Yeah, please leave a comment. let YouTube know that you like what we have going on here so that they will continue to circulate the video. I am at Miss Mono's World in these content creator streets: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm also at Miss Mono's World 2. Okay, so there's a Miss Mono's World and there's a Miss Mono's World 2 on TikTok. I think I'm gonna do one on IG. I'm just trying to open up multiple accounts to kind of spread my content even more. Y'all, please do me a favor. Please, I'm asking you. The Bible says you have not because you ask not. So I'm asking y'all, please. My content is monetized. Okay, monetized. Every like, every share, every view, every comment counts. All right. Please, if you come across my content, leave a like, leave a comment. I try to make it engaging, fun. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it. You know what I mean? Do all of those wonderful things. I do have a book. I wrote a book. Hold on, let me find the tab so I can share it with y'all. Here it is. I wrote a book. The book is called Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass: 8 Questions to Consider While Waiting. The book is available on Amazon. The book is available on Amazon. Atticus, can you stop? I'm trying to wrap it up, please. The book is available on Amazon.com. It downloads to your Kindle. It's only $5. It is an ebook. It's not, it's not a volume. You can download it on your Kindle, or if you have your smartphone, you can download the Kindle app on your smartphone and then download the book there. Okay, so I want to thank you in advance for everyone. Thank you if you have purchased it already, but thank you in advance if you are going to. Okay, and thank you to everyone who gives. We appreciate you so much. Please, we don't take it for granted. I am, my coins are precious to me. I know your coins are precious to you. So please, every donation, every book purchase, everything, we appreciate deeply. Okay. What else? Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's like all the stuff I didn't do earlier. All right, so I will see y'all in these content creator streets. I will also see y'all back here next Thursday. Same black time, same black channel, 8 o'clock. It's your girl, Miss Mono. I'm trying to get my hair done this week. I don't know. Y'all might not see these braids no more. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. But it depends on how the schedule look this week and everything else. All right. What else? Y'all have anything? No. All right.
Like and subscribe to our YouTube.
Like, share, subscribe. We gotta start y'all a new YouTube, by the way. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here. I will see you on these social media platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat at Miss Mono's World, Miss Mono's World 2. You can also reach me at missmonosworld@gmail.com. If you have a topic you'd like to suggest, feel free to hop in my DMs. Women, with the topics. If you're a man, you can talk to my husband. Okay. All right. I'll see you here next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Most High willing. May he keep you. May he be with you and your family. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you so much. Shalom. Shalom. Good night.
Doing things.
Mono.
Living super clean. Daddy came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Maga. Now also available on Messiah TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz Don't Want Your